well, we got ourselves a boat. All right, I picked us up a John boat to full width. It's a 1973 Polar Kraft. I believe Polar Crafts were made in Memphis, Tennessee, right around the corner from me at that time. Cookie cutter size, 1436. I wish it was wider. Got decent deal from a guy at work. After several deals on Marketplace fell through again. I don't know what the freak is going on with people on Marketplace, at least in my area. I guess they just get bored and want to post their stuff, but really don't want to sell it. Anyhow, boat and trailer got from the guy. This is a Marketplace deal right here. This is a 1995 Evinrude 15 horse, which I originally thought it was a good deal. Came with a gas tank and a gas line, but I got it to run. She's going to need some work. And the thing about it is, you know, replacing stuff and making everything work good is going to turn my good deal into not a good deal. And we're still going to have to do a lot of work to make this thing look good if it does run good. I mean, it's missing the latch back here for the cowl. It's actually an electric start motor, which is missing the whole starter. That's pretty important for an electric start motor. The pull rope seems to be pretty good though, even though it's some aftermarket Briggs & Stratton pull rope. It's kind of an eyesore. Didn't want to crank good, wasn't peeing, high idle when it did crank. And the guy actually told me he thought it might need a fuel pump. And since there's a fuel filter in there, you could see like it almost looked like it was starving for fuel. So definitely gonna need a water pump kit and a fuel pump. So there's $100 right there. You gotta watch this crap. You find a deal on Marketplace. A lot of times them deals can turn into nightmares. Next thing you know, I have $1,000 in a motor that runs good and still looks like crap. Hopefully we can get it running, fingers crossed. Boat and trailer, says 73, Polar Kraft. Guy's dad bought it brand new, so that's pretty cool. It's probably never left this little corner of Tennessee. Of course, we have a busted taillight, you know, par for the course with Chris buying a boat. Taillights are not gonna work. Trailer looks like one of them homemade kit trailers. You know, not bad, round tube style. The trailer wiring harness is way too short. And the wires are pretty crusty. Like I said in previous videos, it's only 10 bucks to get a new wiring harness. You might as well do it. Go ahead and get some tail lights too. We got a winch with a rope that looks like it was salvaged Titanic. I guess this is supposed to be a safety rope. Somebody added a heavy duty little grab bar here, handle. So I mean, that'll work. I really do like the setup up here. You can look for all the goobery carpet, but it's actually a 2x4, so you got a good positive stop for a John boat that's flat up front. A lot of times it'll just be that round wheel up front, and people don't try to do anything else, and it will just gouge your John boat and put a huge hole in the front of it over time. I kind of like this. This is just two pieces of aluminum angle bolted together and then pieces of wood, and give you a good spot for like a trans-mount hand-controlled trolling motor. Might put some use to that. We can replace the wood on it. Didn't really come with any goodies. Got a spare tire, which is holding air. Actually, he said he aired up all 3 tires 2 weeks ago, and they're all holding air. I guess that's just some junk he's trying to get rid of, and it looks like it's off the bead, so it probably won't never air up. Looks to be the factory paint. So that's pretty cool. We don't have to worry about Leroy and his 82 coats of latex paint he got. As far as what we're going to do to it, I don't know. We definitely will have to sand it, clean it up some. We got some growth going on the sides of it, so it's been sitting up quite a while. Last registered in 06. He actually said that he redid the whole trailer about 20 years ago, put a whole new axle on it. So the axle's got low miles, trailer's, you know, not terrible shape. It was last registered in 06, so I'm guessing maybe that's around the time that he fixed this thing up last. But we're definitely going to put a floor in it. I don't know about a deck. I'm going to go with a different paint on this boat than I've ever used. We're definitely going to have to clean this thing up. We got some dirt and some acorns and stuff like that we need to get out. Start sanding this thing and prepping it for paint. You know, all the stuff that is absolutely no fun whatsoever. And maybe by the time we get all that done, I'll have an idea of what we're going to do to her. Hopefully we can get her looking pretty good back on the water, and hopefully put her in the hands of somebody that's going to get a lot of use out of it. All right, let's get to work. I spent the day yesterday cleaning this thing up pretty good. Pressure washed it. Took the numbers off. I think them things have been on since 1973. Like, seriously. I got the tail lights loosened up. I didn't take them all the way off because I was going to leave the wires to help fish them, the new wires through. But what I think I'm going to do is cut these things off and re-weld them back here. I don't know why they're up there. It just looks goofy to me. So I'm going to redo that. But everything cleaned up pretty good. This paint, if any of you guys have ever dealt with one of these really old paint jobs, I don't know what they used to paint these boats with, but it's like the hardest crap in the world to sand. And I guess that's going to be our next step, unfortunately. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and get to work. I got this thing pretty much sanded on the inside. I didn't just kill myself with it. Got it all sanded down. I washed it out, kind of letting it dry right now. I'm trying to get it in the garage on some sawhorses so I can work on the trailer. And then I'm going to have to find somewhere to put the trailer so I can move the boat back outside, flip it upside down, then work on the bottom of it. I haven't sanded the outside yet. That outside's going to be a booger bear. I kind of started up front, and I don't know why. The inside paint sanded pretty good. Outside paint is not sanding good. And that's where you kind of want to look a little more better. So that's going to be a job, I believe. Having it upside down should be making it a little bit easier to deal with than being on a wobbly trailer that's being held up by 8x8 post. Anyhow, hopefully we can get some stuff done today. And I'm going to be waiting on stuff to arrive. I tried to order as much stuff as possible, but everything is being shipped kind of slow. All right, anyhow, I'm going to try to attempt this by myself. I won't film it, even though that would probably be some comedy gold. But hopefully, pick back up when working on this trailer. Actually, you can probably tell, I went ahead and cut those off yesterday and tack welded them in to the back. It already looks 10 times better. And I got the taillights in, wiring harness in, and a new winch strap in. But I don't want to put any of that on until I paint this trailer. We're waiting on paint for the trailer, so. Story of my life. Hurry up and wait. I got it. Kinda there. Wait for Amanda to come help me do that before I throw my back out. Getting too old for that kind of crap. We got this freed up now. I don't know about these bunks. They're a little flimsy. So we're probably gonna go ahead and replace these bunks. I want to move them up a hair too. I don't like how much they're hanging off the back, which means we might have to adjust the stop up here too, but I ain't that big of a deal. So we'll go ahead and replace these. Probably replace these too. And how about this piece of wood? Piece of wood's pretty good. Might keep it. Take them all off. Don't want to put them back on until we get this thing painted. I guess that's what I'm gonna do now. Go ahead and take these bunks off and get them out of the way. All right, blue carpet's got to go too. Probably just go with gray. Not really gonna match the boat theme, but it'll save me 20 bucks. Well, I got the pressure washer out and went ahead and pressure washed this thing. Knock all the dirt and grime and any kind of loose flaky paint off of it. Actually came out pretty daggone clean. Kind of a shame I'm going to paint this whole thing black. All right, what we got left to do now was go ahead and weld these things all the way on good. I wanted to tack them on while the boat was on there so I know exactly where they needed to go, have the right angle. Probably going to put some kind of thin pad on this one side. Shoot, I might use some hydro turf or something if I got some thin strips left over from whatever I use on the boat. And I got a guy at work, when he gets a spare time, he'll make me a plate. I'll put a plate right here with 4 holes in it. We can mount us a jack. That way we can get rid of this crap. Then as soon as the paint comes in, we can go ahead and paint this thing, install the new wires, throw the taillights on, get some new bunks, wrap them in carpet, get everything back on, and we'll be done with the trailer. I'm glad I didn't have to buy tires for once. That saved me 150 bucks. Winch works, that's another 30. It's got safety chains on it, and that's another 25. So I harp on it every video, but if you're buying a boat, check on that trailer because you can spend a lot of money on them. All right, Rebel, you got anything to say? No. All right, wait on parts to come in. All right, dudes, not exactly sure how I'm going to fit this into the video, but I've already done some work on the 73 Polar Kraft, and I had an idea in my head of how I wanted to build a boat, and I believe it's going to be the nicest boat that I have built to date. And I went ahead and ordered a bunch of stuff for it, some expensive stuff. The more I got to thinking about it, I was like, man, this boat, you know, it's solid, but it also, you know, it's a little rough around the edges. It's a 73. Maybe I should save this idea for my next boat build if I can find a really nice boat, which I did yesterday. I just picked up a new boat yesterday, so that'll be the very next build. So that leaves me with what are we going to do with the 73 Polar Kraft? Back to the drawing board. And I figure, why not make a really nice budget-friendly build? I know I've done some budget builds in the past, but it's been like aluminum floor stuff. I'm going to go wood floor on this thing. I think I have some 1/2-inch outdoor grade plywood in my shed that I can use for a floor. Not sure about the center section, like where you would typically put a deck. I actually have one of them kind of pyramid shaped seat bases that I got off a boat. Maybe we can work it in. I think I have like 4 or 5 different boat seats sitting out there. See if we can make this thing look really nice, stay in budget, because I'm gonna have to try to move it. Also, I'm gonna try to use the 15 horse Evinrude that I was already worried about. You know, I got it running. Is it running great? Not really. I still want to mess with it a little bit. And I just feel like I'm gonna lose my butt if I get that thing running really good and get it all together and get it looking nice. So try to focus on getting it running pretty decent. Of course, I'd love to take this thing out and see what it does with the 15th to close this video. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But, you know, maybe just get it running decent, put a semi-okay paint job on it so at least it's all one color, and maybe throw some decals on it. Said get the boat painted one color. I went ahead and ordered some different paint for it because I ordered some very expensive paint that's going to be on the next build. It's going to be a new paint that I haven't used, a brand that I've used before, but a different paint. We'll get to it in not very long from now. Hopefully this boat build will go very quickly. I got carpet, a whole lot of gray carpet in there that I can use for the floor, the bunk, stuff like that. Just going to spray the trailer just a flat black. But we're not going to be doing anything outstanding, but I feel like this boat will be like a boat that anybody could throw together in their garage or right outside their garage and just be a really nice, respectable boat that does everything that you need it to do. All right, I just wanted to throw that out there, let you guys know what the focus is going to be on this Polar Kraft, and to also let you guys know that I'm going to have another boat build right after this one, because I'm going to try to juggle both of these boat builds at the same time and have them kind of back to back as far as when they come out, at least within a couple weeks of each other. But I don't know, don't hold me to that because I might run into a bunch of snags. Anyhow, all right, today we're going to be working on the trailer. So I'm not exactly sure I'm going to work this into the video. I've done some work to the trailer, but it's going to rain this afternoon. But I need to get this thing sanded down, weld on that plate for the swing, the trailer jack. It'd be nice if we could get it wired up and figure out the taillight things. I'm going to just try to use some taillights that I got laying around. I got like 7 or 8 of them square taillights. So surely we can Frankenstein something together for that, save a little money. Probably will go ahead and replace the bunks, wrap them in carpet too. That's another expense that I don't really want to do, but them bunks are a little shady, so it would be the smart thing to do. All right, enough running my mouth. Let's go ahead and do some work. Now, what we're gonna work on is these rivets. I'm gonna go ahead and put some Gluvit on the bottom of this boat because, I mean, it's an old boat. And I don't know, some of these rivets are a little sketchy looking, and there's actually somebody that's welded. There's actually a lot of them like that. So I'm gonna take wire brush, this one and this one, whichever one works better. I already did these rivets right here. All of them, all the way, you know, to the middle of the boat. Anything that's gonna be under the water line. Try to get all that paint out. I might actually go ahead and sand this boat too, at least the bottom of it today. I got a little bit of Gluvit, but probably not enough to do 2 coats on all these rivets. I don't even know if I have enough to do the bottom. But this thing's got 1,000,000 rivets in it now that I'm looking. Golly, that's gonna be a minute. It's gonna take a lot of Gluvit too. That stuff is expensive. But that's what we're finna be doing. Go ahead and get to work. 82,000 rivets. Alright guys, you have to forgive me for puppy dog pants in the background. It's hot as crap. Golly. It rained yesterday, so I went ahead and sanded this boat down. Finished sanding all the rivets first, then I went ahead and sanded the boat sides and the bottom, and I washed it off with like some soapy water, just kind of as best I could. Then this morning I came out here and wiped it all down with acetone, and then as you see, put a coat of Gluvit on here. But what I'm getting at is this rain, man, cooled down about 10 degrees cooler the past 2 days, but man, it's so freaking humid. It is awful. It's like you're swimming in soup out here. But so we got that done. As per Gluvit's directions, you're supposed to let it cure for 12 hours and then apply a second coat. So tomorrow we'll put the second coat on, and then I think the paint is coming in tomorrow, so should be able to slap some paint on this thing by the end of this week, and hopefully it'll look decent. I tried to sand it. You see this thing's real bad scratched up. That's why I decided not to do a really nice paint job on it. I tried to sand a lot of the spots down the best I could, the gouges in the paint, but I also didn't just kill myself with it. So all right, I'll pick this back up whenever we get the paint in and start slapping it on, see what it looks like. All right guys, I'm gonna go ahead and not recommend the paint that I'm using. And before I even use it, it's my fault. I kind of dropped the ball on this one. I don't know, like quick search for camouflage paint, popped up Rust-Oleum. I got it on Amazon, 2 quarts for, I think it's like 42 bucks shipped. I thought, well, that ain't bad. I don't even know if 2 quarts is gonna be enough, which is gonna suck if I gotta buy more of this paint, because like I said, I already know I'm not gonna like it. The reason I'm not gonna like it is this is water-based paint. I didn't realize that. I didn't look into it. I saw Rust-Oleum. Most Rust-Oleum you run across is oil-based. So, I mean, this actually says it's one of the uses is for vehicles, hunting applications, metal. So, it's not like it's not designed for this, but also I'm just, you know, latex paint or water-based paint is just, it's not durable. Even the total boat stuff that's, you know, they advertise a lot. I used it on a boat before. I didn't realize it was water-based. I put it on one of the boats. I can't remember which one it was. I hated it because you just take your fingernail and just scratch it off. So what's going to happen when you run up on some brush or something? You know, it's just going to scratch off. Luckily, I dropped the ball on this boat that you know, it's not that I don't care about it, but it's not like I'm trying to make it look super good either. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe it'll surprise me. Doing the same method I always do. Actually, it says, I read the directions on paint because I think that's pretty important. It says they do not recommend rolling it, so I'm going to roll it. Like I always do, have a little foam weenie roller, a little cheap chip brush. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Wish me luck. I'll show you guys what it looks like when we're done. Probably gonna do 2 coats inside and out. Might bring you guys back and show it to you before I flip it over to the inside. All right, here we go. We got 2 coats on this thing. Man, it looks okay. Like I said, it's latex paint. Not expecting it to look great. Regardless, it could probably use another coat, but I'm just gonna go 2. I think it's covered. It covered pretty good. I'm really hoping I got enough paint to do 2 coats on the inside. It's gonna be close. Anyhow, that's what it looks like. I think I'm gonna try to put it on the trailer. That way I back the whole trailer in here, free up these sawhorses, so I can start working on the next boat. Because I'm about right there on it, needing to sand it and getting ready to paint. All right, so that's going to be my project of this morning, is getting this thing back on the trailer without tearing everything up. Wish me luck. Well, it's been a couple weeks, but I've been busy with the boat. As you can see, we got it on the trailer. We got 2 coats of paint on the inside and outside. I lied earlier in the video, lied to myself. Thought I had some plywood, but the piece I had wasn't enough to do anything with. So I went to Lowe's and got a 4x8 sheet of 1/2-inch exterior grade plywood. I made me a little template right here, just a piece of cardboard, notching around the braces. Laid on there, cut it out, you know, pretty cut and dry. Made it, you know, cut it out kind of big because we're going to wrap this with carpet. And I kind of made it a little bit too big over here. And truth be told, I'm kind of rushing this job. Not giving the attention that I normally would, because I'm going to be probably upside down on this boat. Did the same thing up here, which this has got a little bit of a bow to it. And I 2-pieced it because I didn't have a piece of plywood long enough. But I think what I'm going to do with this piece up here is kind of shim it up somehow, attach it to this piece, and put a battery box right here. That way, trolling motor can plug up to it pretty easy. Went ahead and mocked that up too. I had that seat with the base I was talking about in here. Made sure everything is going to be within reach. I think it's going to be okay. And once I got all this wood cut, I went ahead and laid me a coat of fiberglass resin on each side. So everything should be pretty good. Saying you have to coat this plywood with anything, but I don't know. I feel like putting the resin on it will help it last a little bit longer. I'm not sure how much longer, but it makes me feel better about it. So I went ahead and did it. Stuff's pretty cheap. I just get the stuff from Walmart, the Bondo brand or 3M brand. It comes with the little hardener thing. Just, I think it's like 10 drops per ounce. Pretty easy. Stuff dries really fast too. It's easy to sand. I just kind of like using it. Like I said, I don't know if it really is going to help a ton, but it helps me sleep better at night. All right, now what we're going to go ahead and do is carpet this thing. I hope I got enough carpet. I went a little crazy when I was wrapping the bunks, and I cut into my carpet a little more than I thought I was going to. So fingers crossed that I got enough to do these pieces right here. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap them, staple them up, and hopefully we can start really knocking this little boat out. All right, Lady Luck was with us. We had enough carpet, some left over, and it really don't look awful. Not like perfect, but not terrible either. I just got these laying in there. I'm gonna go run down, get some foam, some closed cell foam to go under here. I guess necessarily you wouldn't have to using wood, because you know wood's a lot more sturdy. Aluminum, if you just lay a sheet of aluminum on there, it's gonna bend right there at them voids. The foam kind of helps support it. But the main reason of doing foam, anytime you add weight to a boat like we just did here, you run the risk of exceeding the boat's maximum weight capacity. So, you know, they got foam under these seats from the factory. We're going to add more foam to help out with the weight that we're adding, if that makes sense. It's not going to help your boat float higher in the water. It's just going to, you know, if you get a hole in your boat or a bad leak, it's going to help your boat not sink to the bottom of the lake, hopefully. So, it's always a good idea to add foam. Like I said, it's dual purpose. Like, we don't have a rib right there. So if you didn't add foam, that's going to be a weak spot. So you need to put something under there anyways. I just feel like the right thing to do is add foam. So that's what I'm going to do. I also need to get a trolling motor battery and a box. I think I'm going to put it right here. Try to figure out some way to level this piece out so the battery isn't leaning so bad. I might be able to just shim up the battery box and screw it to that seat. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for right now, I gotta go spend more money on a boat that I'm already over budget on. Great. All right. We got some stuff done today. I'm about tuckered out. I worked 2 12s this week. Had to take Rebel to the vet because she's got some kind of rotten skin disorder. And I'm off tonight. Actually, this upcoming week, I'm off work. Take a vacation. But it's like 5 o'clock. And I've been up for 20 hours. But we've been working on this boat. We got some stuff done to it. Went ahead and installed the seat back here. Went and got some foam, which you can kind of see. I'm not crazy about that. I don't like that, but I don't really know what else to do. So I can find something to shove in them edges. Should have made it a little bit wider, but you know, that's hindsight. Got that under there, and we've got our floors installed. Put a little L bracket in the back of this piece right here. That way I could screw it down and put 2 screws here. Just leveled it out. But after I got it up there, put the battery up there, I didn't like it. Just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with. Even though this trolling motor cord isn't going to reach, I decided to put the battery box back here. I'm just going to have to make a little extension for the trolling motor wires. That way you can plug into here, and hopefully I can have it long enough to where I don't have to worry about it tripping over you or anything. This seat isn't installed yet. I want to paint it. I don't know if I want to paint it just some kind of gray. It's galvanized. Don't have to paint it, but it looks kind of cruddy in some spots. So get it painted up, and then we can attach it. Rebel, goodness gracious! I know it's hot, girl, but dang, you driving me nuts. Get this thing painted up. We get it installed. Extend our trolling motor wires. We gotta replace the wood on that bracket. What else we got? Not a whole lot. Still haven't sanded the outboard. We gotta start working on it. Got a few parts ordered for it. It should be coming in here soon. I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place with this boat, but I know it's not that cool of a build the way I'm doing it. So I'm kind of rushing through it. But I mean, this boat's coming out pretty nice. You ain't gotta throw everything at these boats to make them look decent, you know, respectable on the water. This boat's going to do everything you're going to need it to do. All right, I'm going to turn it in for tonight, today, whatever you want to look at it. It's mine tonight, and we'll be at it tomorrow. Actually, I think I'm going to take my G3 out in the morning and see if I can't catch me some bluegill. Get back from that and get back on this boat. Enough for government work. Well, I'm trying to wrap this boat up. Got the motor all cleaned up pretty good until it's completely torn apart now. I got it cranked up, was messing with the idle speed and just nothing. Didn't want to idle. So finally I said, you know what, maybe I should check the compression on here. Well, pulled the spark plug out and it had water all over the spark plug. Actually, both of them. So as you can see, I pulled the head off, and lo and behold, here's our gasket. Yeah, that ain't good. I hope it's just the gasket, because I don't know. It's going to suck if we warp anything else. If we warp the head, that won't be that big of a deal. We can kind of sand it out, hopefully. But if we mess something up internally and got too hot, blew some rings out, that could be bad. So fingers crossed, we can order a gasket. We'll make sure the head is flush, not warped. Put everything back together, and that should correct our idle problem. No wonder it didn't want to idle, and water in the whole system. All right, I guess to be continued. Of course, it is week of 4th of July, so I probably won't get this till the week after the 4th of July. I want to have this boat done before then. I was actually wanting to take it out here soon, but apparently not. All right, let's get on marineengine.com. All right, finally got this thing halfway put back together. I ended up getting a new head gasket for it. And then when I was putting it on, I broke a bolt because I'm dumb, tightened it up too much. I was using a torque wrench. Apparently something was off in my torque wrench. I finally got this thing put back together yesterday. I hope we fix the idling issue, which I'm sure I'm going to have to mess with this carburetor some since I was adjusting the crap out of it to get it to run before. Hopefully it'll crank up. Go ahead and turn the water on and see what she does. All right. One thing I have yet to fix on this thing is the kill switch. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a kill switch, or I got that goofy toggle switch up here which isn't connected to anything. I don't know. Not really sure. But the way I've been killing it is just turning the choke on and it stops it. So anyhow, I think I'm going to let this thing run for a little bit. Maybe it's got any little spider webs in it, it'll blow out. We'll have to deal with it on the lake. So hopefully next clip of this video is going to be us taking this thing out for the first time in 20-something years. Well, the boat. The motor, who knows. All right, cool. It does like a little bit of throttle. All right, dudes, we wrapped up a little boat build. Took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. A lot of just technical issues. I wasn't expecting the problems with the motor, and I also had problems with my computer. My computer just took a complete dump on me. This was actually kind of a refreshing build, you know, just doing a wood floor, you know, minimal stuff. I mean, this boat does basically anything that I need it to do. You need storage and stuff like that. Maybe it won't work for you. You have storage under this one seat. But I mean, as far as just getting out there and getting on the water, catching fish, you don't have to throw thousands of dollars at a little boat. So doing this boat was a reminder to me that, you know, a lot of that stuff's, you know, not necessary. Is it cool? Yeah, a lot of it is, and that's opinion based too. And, you know, some of it is very useful, but when it comes down to it, you don't have to do this. You can just get a John boat and go catch fish. Having a floor is nice, even if it is just a wood floor. It's not loud when you drop something. You don't have to worry about tripping over ribs and stuff like that. Easier to walk on. You know, a little bit more of a creature comfort if you're one of the people that like to take your shoes off when you're in the boat, which is me. So, yeah, it's nice, but it's not like over the top. A lot of these boats are over the top, and I'm not trying to shame anybody. If that's what you're into, that's fine. But you have to realize, you know, do you really need all that stuff? You know, if you have the money and the means, you know, that's totally fine. That's very cool. But, you know, don't be discouraged if you don't have the money or the time to put all this money and effort into a boat because you feel like that's what everybody's doing. Because I ain't lying, like this boat taking it out today was super fun. A little motor went 22 miles per hour. 22 miles per hour in a boat, tiller handle. It's pretty fun. It feels like a go-kart on the water. And actually, I think this boat is actually ready for a 20, so you could get even more if you wanted to. So I'm just saying, you know, you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. I am actually proud of this boat. I think it's very cool. I mean, it's better than a little John boat when it comes to creature comforts, and it does everything that you need it to do. Don't get too caught up in what John Doe is doing to his boat. Do you. That's all that really matters. And that's kind of why when I come across this boat and I come across the next boat, I kind of wanted to do yin and yang. Not that, don't get me wrong, you can do a whole lot better than what I've done with this boat. I'm like 70% done with this boat as of right now. But it's really nice, and it's taken a lot of work and money. But how many more fish can I catch out of that boat than this? None. If you're just wanting to fish, if you're just wanting to get on the water, both of these boats do the same thing. That boat has a lot more storage, looks a lot nicer. But this boat, I mean, it does the same thing, and it's a whole lot cheaper. I'm getting a little bit long-winded, but I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to get at here. I'm not very exuberant with my boat builds compared to some. I do know people throw thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on boats. I'm not saying it's dumb to do that, because I'm freaking doing it right here next to this boat. It's very cool, but it's not that necessary. Don't feel bad because of what somebody's doing down the street or across the freaking country. You know, do what you can do. Get out on the water, have some fun. You don't have to do this. Bare Bones John Boat can do everything that you need it to do if you're just trying to get on the water or catch fish. So anyways, I'm going to close out with that. This boat, like I said, is about 70% complete. So I'm hoping you guys can see it within no more than 2 weeks of me posting this video. But anyways, I really appreciate you guys watching, especially you that have watched all the way to this point. You are the A-team. Appreciate it again. I'll see you guys on the next one, hopefully very soon.